In this video, we're going to be talking about the 1949 classic film noir, The Setup, which stars Robert Ryan and was directed by Robert Wise. Two Roberts.
Three,
including me, and I got the DVD right here. We're Coffee with Aliens at the Movies, a film education and film review channel. My name is Robert Bellissimo. I'm an actor and acting teacher.
I'm Steve Chambers. I'm a writer and actor.
And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to our channel by clicking on the subscribe red watermark in the bottom right of your screen, and then click the bell to get notifications every time we go live or release a new video.
I love this. I love this movie.
Me too.
I
it's
love
so
it.
good.
And not in it. Listen, only in hindsight, like later did I find out like that Scorsese, I didn't know, is like obsessed with it. Why did you pick it?
I got it a few years ago, and I just loved it. I think I've seen it already about 4 or 5 times, and it's really essentially about a boxer, what it's like to be a boxer, and also how boxers are looked at and treated in their environment. We see the crowds are basically cheering for them to kill each other like they're animals, like they're just not even human, like they're products. The gangsters are taking bets and telling everyone when to take a dive for their own financial gain. So they're treated like toys, like puppets. So that's like the darkness of this industry. So it has a real look at that. But then it's really just about this guy, this fighter who's 35 years old. He's down. He hasn't won a fight in quite a while. Here he is that night, waking up from a nightmare at 9:30, and then he has to go and fight a guy who's 12 years younger than him, who's like a top contender. And his wife is pleading with him not to fight because she's afraid, like, at any time his brains can just be scrambled, and then he could die or be a vegetable for the rest of his life. But as he said, fighters fight, and I think he knows this is his last fight, and he doesn't want to just go down. He doesn't want to just take a dive. He doesn't want to be like so many boxers who just went down and out and ended up, doing mopping a floor somewhere. Unfortunately, he wants to win, and he's convinced he's going to win. And I think he knows that once he knows that they want him to take a dive, it's sort of, in a way, it's like a catch-22. It works out because now he'll be forced to no longer fight because, if he wins, those guys are going to beat the shit out of him and break his hands, And so it's like, hey, I'd rather be forced to stop and go on top than lay down and go out like another has-been old man. They keep calling him, he's only 35, right? But for that sport,
exactly. That's all. Yeah,
not
exactly.
so much now, but
No.
Back then you were an old man, right? So he is
30,
he's self-destructive in that sense, but on the other hand, he's a real individual. He shows the beauty of boxing. It shows that it was noble, that it's worth fighting for. We see all those other guys backstage, and there's the young up-and-comings, and he's supportive of them. He's kind to them. He's like, go get them. And then we see the other guys who are down on their luck and like who literally shouldn't be fighting anymore, who are like delusional that they're going to become champions. And he's still kind of like, he's with them. Like seems like a nice man, And Robert Ryan was such a good actor.
Amazing.
And talk about a guy who was so simple, so responsive. He's just there. In the first scene with his wife, when she's pleading with him, he just says, stop, stop. I can imagine the actor reading that line, and most actors feeling like they got to be angry, they got to be tough. Stop. And he just says it simply. He's like, stop. Stop. And I thought, and it's actually much more powerful. It just came right out of his feelings.
So confident.
Not handing, not pushing. And he was a boxer. Apparently, he was a boxer.
Yeah, 4 years in a row, heavyweight champ at his college. I don't know where. But and so the fight footage, is, I'm sure for then, that was really different. And Robert Wise was shooting the fights with 3 cameras simultaneously to have one inside the ring, one out. and really carefully choreographed with I can't remember his name, but a boxer at the time, like a professional, retired though boxer. And the fight scenes are in the ring anyway are excellent, and you can see, like, it was, as I said earlier, it's only later I discovered that Scorsese was so obsessed with this, and you definitely see the noirish, kind of thing going on in the fight scenes in Raging Bull. And yeah, man, it's an incredible movie. And like you say, backstage or in the locker rooms, we kind of see, like you said, the up and comers. He likes them. He's encouraging. He sees him a younger self. He sees his younger self in them. But then with those older, like you say, delusional guys, he also sees where the hell he's going.
Yeah,
potentially.
That's true. Yeah.
And no one's gonna remember these guys. But the way he goes out, he kind of tricks the system. He pays a price, but it forces him, like you say, out of boxing. But he also went out, okay, maybe the history books won't remember a guy like this, but at least you went out on your shield. You went out a winner. Yeah. And you went out on your terms.
Exactly. Yeah.
And again, Robert Ryan conveys all that without talking about the violence and the boxing, just like as a performer, his quiet confidence. I think, like you say, I think a performer has to be very confident to not
he was
load
so
the word. Right. Yeah. Not load. Like you nailed it. You totally nailed it. And we've talked about this. It's the smaller moments, I think, that really make an actor. It's not the screaming and the crying.
It's very simple.
Told in real time.
Sorry? It's all in real time. They keep cutting to the clock. It's like 9. It's literally like an hour and a half. It's like a couple of hours, right?
Exactly.
All those other fights are happening so fast. And then his fight, by the time it ends, everyone just gets up and leaves because it's such a long fight. They're probably, in a way, we're enjoying it so much, but not expecting it to go that long. I mean, he really goes the distance, and he really goes out on top, and you really root for him. And every time I see the movie, it's kind of like Rocky, right? Like, even though you've seen it and you know what happens, because it's so long and because it feels so real. I mean, they're really beating. They look like they're fucking hammering each other. It
looks good. I don't disagree with you, man.
Yeah.
And then the actor who played opposite him for the final fight, I don't know his name, was also an ex-boxer. So you had two guys that did know how to move in the ring.
You could tell, You could tell because, like I said, it looks so real. And then, when they corner him outside after the fight and they bust his hands, I mean, I just get mad every time I feel so bad for him.
You do.
And I love what Wise did, because you even though he doesn't show, like the gangster says, you're not going to hit anyone with that hand again. And then he just, he pans to the left at some music going on. And everyone, there's like people are having a good time, and then meanwhile, like down below, he's clearly getting pummeled, and you don't see a thing, you don't even hear anything, and you're like,
right.
It's all in your
scarier.
head.
It's scarier what you picture.
It's scarier. And then that wide shot right after where, because when I first saw it, I thought they killed him, but then he's getting up slowly and then you see that couple above. Or look down and laugh at him, right? So it's that thing again of always being laughed at, always being like the product, the joke of the night, the fun, entertaining. But he doesn't let that stuff get to him, right? And even when he's there with his wife, and he's like, I can't fight no more, but he's like, I won tonight, and she won too, because now they can go open that cigar stand or that other venture they had in mind, right? So it's like it's a happy ending. It's like, but at the same time, it's a dark, sad ending. But I thought those two things played.
It's a happy ending
so beautifully.
I think this was Robert Wise's last film under his RKO and his favorite of that period. And he says it's on his top 10 of films he directed, and it should be. And it's amazing that this guy, we've talked about Robert Wise before and how he makes, the setup, West Side Story, Somebody Up There Likes Me, Star Trek, the motion picture, The Haunting. And they're all good.
Extremely versatile. Sound of Music.
Music.
It's incredible. You can only get the DVD You can't stream this anywhere.
Nope.
And I highly recommend, if you're a Noir fan or a Robert Ryan fan or a Robert Wise fan, just buy it. Like, it's fucking worth
100%,
it.
100%.
And it's really simple. It's really short, but it has such great depth and beauty, and I love it. I mean, it's an incredible movie.
I'm with you. I don't know what else to say. That's it. It's a perfect.
I'll end it there. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Again, if this is your first time here, or if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to our channel by clicking on the red watermark in the bottom right of your screen, and then click the bell in order to get notifications every time we go live or release a new video. And then you will be on our alien list. Thank you so much, and we will see you again next time.